Next up for us, 1 p.m. Eastern, Jacksonville Jaguars, 2-3, 1-2 on the road at the Indianapolis Colts, 2-1, 1-1 at home. We're at Lucas Oil Stadium in Indianapolis, Indiana. We'll start with the spread in this one, or line history, I should say. We have this opening up with the Colts -1.5. They're now -2.5, a 1-point move over towards them. This total's gone from 40.5 to 41.5, so it's gone up a point. Let's take a look at the cash flow here for this one. We have Sports Insights giving slight line value to the Indianapolis Colts, 51% of the tickets on them and 86% of the cash. Then we have 81% of tickets and 97% of cash on the under, and yet this has gone up a point, as confusing as that is. The Jaguars come in off an ugly 13-6 home loss to the Texans. They lost despite outgaining the Texans 422 to 248. Trevor Lawrence was 25 of 47 for 286 yards, no touchdowns, 2 interceptions. Marvin Jones caught 7 passes for 104 yards, and Evan Engram caught 6 for 69. Travis Etienne ran 10 times for 71 yards and caught 3 passes for 43 yards. They scored 6 points in 3 red zone trips. Their defense was strong. I mean, they held the Texans just 248 yards. They had 1 sack, 5 quarterback hits, but Kayvon Chason left the game with knee injury, and he's not going to be back soon. And they played without Fatukasi, who's inactive last week after his week 4 quadriceps injury. So he's been out for a week, and I'm not sure if he's going to be coming back. They also lost their left guard, Ben Barch, to a knee injury. Colts come in off extra rest and prep after their 12-9 overtime victory on Thursday night. Somehow, I mean, if you've been watching this team play every day, somehow they're 2-2-1. It's unbelievable. Matt Ryan was 26 of 41 for 251 yards, no touchdowns, and 2 more interceptions. He was sacked 6 more times. That's 21 on the year. Alec Pierce got 8 passes for 81, and Pittman caught 5 for 59. And then Deion Jackson came in. So they had no Jonathan Taylor. Then Nyheim Hines gets concussed immediately. And Deion Jackson came in and looked good. He ran 13 times for 62 yards. He caught 4 passes for 29 yards. This Colts defense looked strong, even without Shaq Leonard. DeForest Buckner, 2 sacks. The team had 4 sacks and 8 quarterback hits. Rodney Thomas, Stephon Gilmore each had interceptions. And Kwity Paye dealing with an ankle sprain, a high ankle sprain, so he's probably not going to be available. They also lost starting center Ryan Kelly to a hip injury. So they have issues, but they have extra rest and prep, and I don't know what to do with this Jaguar team. I can't wait to hear your breakdown. Can you shed some light on Jaguars Colts?
Yeah, is this our first rematch of the year? It has to be. Like, these two teams played each other already. Like, this is it's only week 6 and we're getting the double down. But yeah, this was a couple people pointing this out already. For some reason, the Colts have just had tons and tons of trouble. They lost 24-0 to the Jags on the road. It just makes no sense how poorly they play against this team. I'm kind of there. I don't think they should be a 2-point favorite. Again, it was a really poor output on the scoreboard, but it was a really good output as far as yardage. I'm not sure what we're going to do as far as game plan here. I trust Peterson. I don't think you're going to – it's been 2 weeks in a row where there's been a big problem. 2 weeks ago, it was Lawrence had way too many turnovers. Last week, it was just they couldn't convert. They couldn't convert in the red zone. I don't see them losing big. This is one of my favorite teaser legs. Like getting them at +2 in a low total game. I don't think this total is going to get blown out of the water. If it does go over, it'll be like in the mid 40s. Like I think the total's probably right on, but it is a lower total game, right in that Wong teaser zone. So I'm gonna have them in a 6-point teaser with a team we'll mention later when we get to them. I won't spoil the good surprise, but yeah, it's just one of those. It's a math teaser, like a basic strategy teaser, whatever you want to call it. Otherwise, yeah, the other move would be to back the Jaguars on the money line, and not all about that right now.
Yeah, I
just don't see them losing by like 10 points here. Close game, one way or the other.
I wish the Colts didn't have these issues against the Jaguars, because I want to back the Colts here on extra rest.
Yeah.
This is a team that's bent but hasn't broke. And you would expect them to break after what, like, I mean, they've looked so bad, but they seem to be, they have their head up. What's the story on Shaq Leonard? We expect him back, right?
I think so. That's been such a, it sucks trying to answer these questions so early in the week, but it was concussion, right? Like I think he still has to, like, you still have to figure out if he can clear protocol on that. Like, a lot of that is just out of their hands. He has to pass tests with the neurologists and stuff. So we'll see what happens. I guess I'd lean towards him not playing if that concussion was pretty bad. So I will give Indy some credit. I have Denver as a pretty high-end defense this year. I mean, a lot of things that have gone wrong for that team. It was a tough defense. It was such a beautifully ugly game. Like, I remember bitching and moaning, and then I realized, like, oh yeah, I have the under. Like, no, this is a perfect game. I love this game. Like, they should all be like this. I bet an under in a game. There's no touchdowns. I knew some people who bet no touchdowns scored. At 100-1. Gorgeous tickets. So
beautiful.
I think we're going to see more of that. It probably isn't that bad, but I don't see the Colts winning by margin. I love this teaser leg.
Leo says he put 500 on the under 40 at plus money. I'm going to move on the Colts. This was not a plan. This has happened after all of this breakdown. I expect Shaq to be back in the lineup here, and I'm going to look into that a little more. I don't know if anybody else has any information on that, but I'm going to move on the Colts here. I think this is the time to get in on them at home against a team that has given them fits, that they know are a problem, that they will be, hyper aware of the struggles that they've had against the Jaguars. And all of a sudden, the Colts could win this game and be set for a playoff spot, not set, obviously, but 3-2-1.
Getting there. Yeah.
Okay, the Colts is a move that will be moving on. I don't like the idea of fading the Jaguars, selling them at such a low price, but I don't think this is a good football team. I think that the struggles that they're having are real and will continue here, especially if Shaquille Leonard's back. All right, I love it. Johnny Gilpatrick also. Johnny Gilpatrick got it on the -1 early. Great job. I'm gonna have to suffer the consequences, but this wasn't on my radar as a plan. This happened through us breaking it all down. Colts is going to be on my card. I will bet them tonight. Let's move